What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another review for the Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys, season number 18, episode number 13. And this episode was titled, You Are Cordially Not Invited. Now, before we get into the video, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video, on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode it opens up where the last one left off with Tamra being a butthole and leaving out that house and almost face planting into the cement. Thinks she lost her phone or her keys. Something fell out of her hands, and I was like, Tamra, God don't like ugly, honey. He do not like ugly. So let's also briefly talk about Tamra real quick, right? So you guys know, well, you guys may not know, but last week Tamara was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, right? And she was making some snarky little comments about um Jen's boyfriend, Ryan, right? And Ryan saw that, wasn't too fond of it. And so Ryan filed, I think, a defamation lawsuit against Tamara for defaming him. Tamara tried to go on an apology tour saying she misspoke and all this stuff, right? Baby, the damage is done. So then it was a lot of housewives chiming in, right? Past and present. Jen said something, Gretchen said something, Vicky said something. Even Kelly Dodd had something to say. And to know me is to know I am no fan of Kelly freaking Dodd. Think the lady is an imbecile and a moron. But Kelly Dodd has something to say. And I thought that was really, I thought it was rich because Kelly was talking about suing, they should all get together and sue Tamara as well. I was like, girl, you should sit the and F to the U down. But okay, it is what it is, right? So back to this episode. So Katie went out to go check on Tamara. And Tamara is once again talking about the fact that the feds, raided the house and all this kind of stuff. I was like, girl, you should really shut up. So Katie went back inside to basically tell Eddie, like, hey, I think Tamara's ready to go. So Eddie ended up leaving, right? So the other ladies, they're still talking to um Ryan, right? Asking Ryan about the whole Fed situation. And you know what, Ryan? I'm not gonna sit here and say you're guilty or anything of that nature because you know the saying is innocent until proven guilty. But what I will say with Ryan is the fact that you can't answer questions, and I get it that your friend is the one that's involved in this, and I get that this is an ongoing legal dispute, a legal issue. I get that you can't go too deep in detail about it, but when you explain yourself about certain things, you're not clear in your explanations. Like we're talking about what you do for work, like you're not clear in anything that you say, so it doesn't really add up. And to other people, it may seem like you're lying about stuff or hiding things. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not gonna give Ryan, a whole lot of grief, right? But as I stated, it still is a little interesting just to me personally, just looking at it from the outside in. It does seem like, you know, I'm not gonna say you're hiding anything, but it does feel like, yeah, you might be omitting some things, maybe, just maybe. But again, you guys can tell me what you guys think and what you guys feel down in the comment section below. And I guess we'll just move on to the next story, next thing in this episode, you guys. So we're gonna skip over to Gina. Let's get Gina on the screen. Gina. With Gina, I let me say this in the nicest way possible, because I don't dislike Gina, right? I don't dislike Gina, but when it comes to Gina, Gina has no storyline. And I just, if Gina and Emily are to come back for season 19, I want them to come back with better stories, because this season, it ain't really giving what they thought, especially Gina, right? So we see Gina. So Gina has Emily over to the house. Look like she's done some renovations on the house. They look nice, right? So then they talked about the situation with Tamara and Ryan, right? So they show a flashback clip of Tamara telling Gina that she called Ryan a bitch. My God, he's a little bitch. Now, Tamara, how would you feel if somebody called Eddie a bitch? You would be ready to go off on them. Like, if somebody were to disrespect Eddie, you would not be here for it. You were already mad at Ryan saying that Ryan disparaged you, Eddie, and the business. So that's why I have so many grievances with Tamara, right? But Emily says that, she was all out of sorts. And I love the fact that Gina said that, well, just because you have three martinis doesn't mean you can just say whatever the hell you want to say. And I was like, exactly. And it's mighty convenient and funny and interesting that Tamra wants to go on this whole crusade and talk about Shannon having a drinking problem, when I think that Tamra has a drinking problem. Like, let's keep it real with each other. Tamara is just as bad as Shannon is. Now, she may not drunk call people, but girl, you are peeing in people's property. You're you're inappropriate. So, Pod, please meet the kettle. Like, if you want to say Shannon has a drinking problem, let's say you have one too, sis. Let's say that. So Shannon is going to be having a birthday party to celebrate, her 60th birthday, right? So everybody's going to be there at the party. And Tamara had text saying that she wasn't coming, but I don't know if it was Katie, or it might have been Katie. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But all the girls are going to show up, right? So Heather and not Heather, but Gina and Emily are both reluctant to be in the same room with Heather, right? And it's like, oh my God, like, you guys are ridiculous to me. At this point, Gina and Emily are ridiculous. More specifically, no, I was about to say more specifically, Gina, but both of them. Gina is being ridiculous to me, because Gina feels that since she walked out of the room with Emily the last time that she was cussing, going off and cussing out, Alexis and Heather, she feels like now Heather is mad at her. I was like, okay, and this is why I say what I say when it comes to Gina. I you know I think Gina likes to kiss Heather's ass and try to suck up to Heather. For what reason, I don't know, but it is the relationship between Gina and Heather has always been a weird one for me, especially since Heather came back on this show. I don't know what it is with Gina and Heather, but it's something very weird for me. I don't know if it's a sense of acceptance or what, or feel like you're part of the in crowd, the inner circle. I don't know what it is when it comes to Gina. Now, when it comes to Emily, you need to go seek therapy, because that is your own insecurities. Those are your insecurities about how you look and how your body looks, right? Only person that can change that is you and a therapist, right? Now, what I will say is, to the people who go in her comments on Instagram and troll her, you're full of it, right? Like y'all are some ass clowns. You want to shut you like I bet you some of those people who talk about Emily's body don't even have a picture of her first. They probably have pictures of other people on their social media, and they feel comfortable from behind a computer screen, a phone screen, whatever kind of screen, talking shit about her. But I guarantee you, you probably couldn't even fix your lips to say it to her in her face. But again, Emily, that is your insecurities. Like you're mad because she didn't put you in a size 6, but they put you in a size 12. Well, mama, obviously the size 12 is what fits you based on your measurements. Like I don't know how you can get mad at measurements, but when it comes to this, like I hope at the reunion we don't spend too much time on this drama because this is stupid to me. This is the dumbest thing that we got this season, besides Alexis. And we'll get into her in a little bit too. So let's go ahead and move on to Katie, you guys. Let's bring Katie up on the screen. Where's Katie? There's Katie. So in this episode, we didn't get a whole lot with Katie, but we did see Katie as she went out to eat with her daughter, her husband, and her son. So they're at a Korean restaurant, right? And you guys remember her daughter speaks Korean, but Katie doesn't. She said something in her interview that she said was Korean, but in the subtitle they put what it meant in the subtitles. But then the subtitles also said, "This is not Korean. This is Mandarin." I hollered when I saw that. But they're talking about going to Korea, right? Because I think it's her 40th birthday. So they're going for her birthday, and she's going to be meeting her biological mother. And I know exactly what Katie was talking about when she was like, meeting her mother would be like the final puzzle piece that she can. If you guys are not adopted or anything like, well, more specifically, if you guys are not adopted or grew up in a foster care system or any of those things, right, where you don't know who your family is 100%, then you won't understand that because when she said that, that's exact like that's the same analogy that I used to my mom like 10, 20 years ago. Well, not 20 years ago, but like 15. No, it has to be at least 20 years now, right? So that was the analogy I used to my mom because my mom asked me the question because I was searching for my biological father. And my mom at the time felt the way because she was like, are you trying to, do trying to find your biological father? Are you trying to replace me? And I was like, no, absolutely not. And that's why I told him, like, no one can ever replace you in my life. And it still stands. And my mom has been deceased now, 7 years, right? And it still stands. No one could ever replace her. But I had to explain to her, it's like, for me, it's just a missing puzzle piece that I need to find. And I'm still on the journey of finding that puzzle piece. I'm still trying to find that missing piece to my puzzle. We'll eventually find it, but hey, I understood where Katie was coming from. And that is that with Katie. Like I said, one much with her. The bulk of this episode was really centered around Shannon. And speaking of, let's talk about Shannon really quickly, right? So you guys know that Shannon is going to be on a new show. I don't know if it's going to premiere on Bravo or if it's going to be a Peacock series, but Shannon is on a series Looking for Love with Giselle from Potomac, Ashley from Potomac, and Luann, formerly from Real Housewives of New York, right? I think it's called Love Hotel or something like that. And so earlier this week, the host of the show, Joel Kim Booster, who I actually do like him. I think there are times where I find him quite funny, but the things that he said about Shannon earlier this week, I did not find them funny. And let me say two things, right? Because two things can be true. It could be true that Shannon was not that nice to production, right? And to the people around. But at the same time, you have to be a professional And what Joel did was not professional at all, because he went onto his Instagram stories and he did a live blasting Shannon, talking about, he can see, he knows why John did what he did. Now he can see why John did what was done. He wishes Shannon the worst and all that kind of stuff. It's like, my God, today, sir. Like, I get it. If you had issues with Shannon and you feel any type of way about Shannon, you should definitely be able to speak your piece, but not like that. Not like that. But if you guys saw the stuff, let me know what you guys think. So we see Shannon in this episode. So Shannon is out shopping for her 60th birthday, looking for outdoor furniture, right? So she has Katie as well as Heather with her. And so, they are talking about, Dos Amigas being sold out and how good it is for Shannon. They also talked about this whole John Jansen stuff, right? You know what? Can somebody tell me what is the status of the lawsuit? Because I still don't even know what the status of that lawsuit is. Did they? Did they? Did she win the lawsuit? Did he win the lawsuit? To me, it's just so freaking weird to me. Uh, like, I have my thoughts and my opinions about this lawsuit. As of August of this year, they were still battling over that lawsuit. Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy and we are in October. Mm, mm-mm. If I was Shannon, I would have filed a countersuit against his ass. Neither here nor there. But they talked about John. I don't want to give John too much light because I think John is being thirsty and looking for a moment, much like Alexis is. And we can, like I said, we'll talk about Alexis as we get to Alexis. So then they also talked about, her party that's coming up and the fact that Tamara had said she wasn't going to come. And Katie was like, well, that was right. When you sent that text, it was right after what happened at my house. So that's why she did that. Then they also talked about, you know, the stuff with Heather and Emily, right? Again, as I said earlier, Emily's issues is something that she needs to figure out what to do and how to move forward. Now, when it comes to Heather, when Emily wanted to talk to her in a previous episode, Heather was very dismissive, and it was really more so Heather wanted to talk to Emily on her timetable, not Emily's. And that's one thing I don't like about Heather, the dismissiveness, the dismissive part of her, right? Like, if you value these ladies, if you value their friendship, if your friend is telling you, hey, you hurt me, I felt this way, sit down with your friend. And Shannon, not Shannon, but Emily wasn't even saying in that moment, like, let's talk right here, right now. It just escalated. But she then eventually said, like, let's have a side conversation. And Heather was good. Like, Heather was good. So we see all the ladies as they show up to Shannon's event, right? So Heather immediately came in and wanted to have a conversation with Emily. And I respected Emily for saying, no, like, I want to talk to you the last time, just me and you brushed me to the side. So Heather asked her once again, and then Emily, decided to say, yes, I'll have the conversation with you, right? And as I said earlier, when it comes down to it, Emily, the issue that you have with this is one that you need to work through yourself. Like, I think you need to be able to work through that issue. Those are like, that's on you. It's on you, nobody else, right? So after that, we see as she and Tamara and what's her name, Jen, they talked, and Tamara apologized to Jen, but I was like, girl, I wouldn't buy that apology. But Tamara's like, they should have a conversation solo, and she agreed, and I was like, girl, don't sit down with Tamara. It's gonna be a waste of time. It is gonna be a complete utter waste of time if you sit down with this lady. But, we'll see what she does, right? So then Shannon revealed to the girls that they are going on their cast trip to London. Gina, that accent that you did in your interview, horrendous. Horrible. So somebody got Shannon some shoes, right? And I can't remember. You know what? Now that when I think about the shoes, it was a play on those shoes. What she said she got for John earlier in the season. I was like, oh, now I get it, right? So then she got a bouquet of flowers, right, with a card, and they were all like, "Well, who's the flower? Who are the flowers from? Who are they from, Shannon? Who are they from?" So Shannon was reading the card, and I saw when the camera went around where Shannon was. I saw the A at the bottom of the signature. I was like, "Them cards are from Alexis," and that's exactly who they were from. Shannon's like, "Girl, these cards are from Alexis," and so it was. She was saying it's an olive branch. I was like, "Girl, olive branch, my behind." You've had ample opportunities to make amends with Shannon. You've had ample opportunities to say, let's extend an olive branch. You've had ample opportunity to say, you know what, Shannon, whatever's going on between you and John, it has absolutely nothing to do with me. And I don't want that to be a hindrance or an issue within me and you getting to know each other, me and you becoming friends with each other, or anything of that nature. You've never done that. And even Emily in her interview said she always talks about extending an olive branch, but you're still helping pursue this case against her. Like Alexis can go straight to hell, is where she can go, right? So Shannon is me to my core because Shannon was about to send Alexis a text message basically telling her, I've invited all the girls to London. These are girls that, these are my friends. I love them. But I don't want you to come. Thank you for the flowers. Me and you we won't be good. And so Jen and Katie are like, no, 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 Shannon, don't do that. Tamara is in her interview talking about here goes Shannon making things about Alexis. You know what, Tamara, you want to play dense and dumb, but girl, if the shoe was on the other foot, if this were you in Shannon's shoes, you wouldn't be trying. You would be pissed if Shannon was taking up for Alexis. You would be pissed off. So, girl, miss me with all of the B to the S. I ain't got it for Tamara. I ain't got it for Tamara. I ain't got it for Tamara. So, Jen and Katie say, you know what, Shannon, you might want to just kind of clean it up a little bit. No, Shannon, don't clean it up. Send it just like it is, right? So, Jen and Katie are gonna go and have a conversation with Alexis to soften the blow. I was like, why are y'all trying to soften the blow? Why should she be surprised? Like, I don't I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. But okay, it is what it is, right? So let's go ahead and move on to that part of the episode and wrap up, you guys. So Alexis so like I said, Katie and Jen went to go see Alexis, right? And I couldn't with this scene for a multitude of reasons, right? Reason number one why I couldn't with this scene, it was all Alexis, right? So Alexis asked them, did Shannon get the flowers? They said yes. They're like, so she's like, so we can move forward now. And they were like, no. And so she's like, I extended olive branch and we're still not good. No. You can't do things to people and then dictate and tell them how their responses should be to you. Shannon has not done anything to you, but you continuously talk about her amongst the girls and defend John and say we have proof about this, we have proof about that, we have this, we have that. Why is there a we involved? It is John and Shannon, not John, Shannon, and Alexis. Like, you're delusional, Jesus Jugs. My God, today. So after that, they were like, I think Shannon sent you a text message. So she went upstairs, and who's there? John is there. I was like, go figure. I'm shocked he's not on camera. But I think what John is trying to do is, like I said in the previous review, I think John is trying to play the, oh, I don't want to be on camera, but I'm gonna have Alexis be my guard dog, my lap dog, my attack dog, and do all this stuff for me to get this out to the media, so that way he doesn't look like the bad person. He doesn't look like the thirsty person that he is. So Alexis got the phone, read the message, and she was mad that Shannon, you know, disinvited her. What the hell? She didn't even invite her. Girl, you are not invited to London. And Alexis in her feelings. And so she told Katie and Jen to leave, and she threw them and the camera crew out, talking about she's done. She's done. Okay, girl, we'll see. We will see. We will see. We will see. We will see. Like I said previously about Alexis, I think Alexis and John are playing a long game that I hope does not work, right? Because you guys know that they're currently engaged. I'm hoping, because I think that she's trying to get her orange back. That orange is rotten, girl. We don't want it. We don't need it. Keep it. Throw it away. Set it on fire. Throw it in an incinerator. Like, we don't need Alexis back at all. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments section. You guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video. And until next time, please stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I will see you guys in the next video. So next up will be the Golden Bachelor later this afternoon, you guys. Bye.